Yeah. Right? She is getting people a little nervous. They are nervous. Nervous over she. She's future. Taiwan. He's powerless. Eight of Swords. He's completely tied down due to what Biden did to him. Tied down. He's like Gulliver's Travels. Gulliver's Travels. What is the allegory of Gulliver's Travels? Did you guys ever read Gulliver's Travels? When he's tied and bound by lesser people, what the symbolism of Gulliver's Travel was? That this big burly guy is going to get taken down by these little midgets that come together, and it's really kind of a play on power too, isn't it? In the sense that it was written during all these revolutions that were taking place in France and Britain, where the little people all of a sudden decided that they didn't want to be controlled, or they didn't want to be dominated by the king. So you also had things happening. You had the execution of King Charles, right? So Eight of Swords has that element that we think about, which is the symbolism that we find in the story of Gulliver's Travel. And in Gulliver's Travel, you have the symbolism of the big, big man. What's going to take out the big, big guy, that honking man? You would think somebody that big, nobody's going to take him out, right? But the story unfolds that when he least expected it, he falls asleep, he has a happy nappy, maybe he eats too much, and, eating and drinking and everything else, right? And when he wakes up, he is bound by the people. Maybe he had too much ale, maybe he ate too many chicken wings, right? But the point is that he becomes tired and lazy, and he puts his work aside, and when he wakes up, there's a revolt, and the little people have taken control of the situation, and thus ends the powerful, Gulliver, right? He is completely at the mercy of these little people. So when we go into the energy of the first house of Trump, we have the same energy and the same symbolism that we see in Gulliver's Travels. The little people have come in, and the little people will control the leader. They don't like him. They don't like what he represents. They don't like his assault of power, and they will control and contain this king. That is the prediction of this card. It also harkens back to this idea, that, look, folks, this has happened before. Just as it happened at the time of Jonathan Swift, right? If a king or a leader cannot do his job, the people will do what is necessary to take control of the situation. And that is precisely what the cards predict for this individual. He will be controlled. He will be contained. His opposition is everybody that has this idea of power run amok, right? So Gulliver's Travel is this idea that everything balances itself out in the end, because people will control somebody when they're out of control. Eventually it happens. The opposition at this time is victorious. We stand with the Ace of Swords. All right, let's talk about it. Those of you who are in my tarot class, the tears that are shaped like the Yud in Hebrew, which is the 10th letter in the Hebrew, we can see tears are dropping, crying, right? And we can see a laurel wreath of victory that crowns the survivor, right? We call it the survivor's card, and it stands in the opposition. So opposition to Trump is the winner. They are victorious. In terms of the actual timeline for swords, if you are learning how to read the cards, I say 1 year. And that is because the Ace of Swords was based on the premise of January. She drew it to symbolize the year, the time of January. You know, January 1st, your life starts all over again. Everything begins anew. I'm gonna kill it this year, right? Gonna build a mountain, right? You've got that attitude, like can do. That Ace of Swords. The new year comes in. The other thing that I like is that she has chiseled the Ace of Swords to be an ice sculpture, and so it's ice. The hand is ice. It's in a cloud of ice. The mountains are covered in ice. You can feel that January ice energy moving in the 1 year of the victory card of the 1 year. So I'm going to go ahead and say comfortably that within 1 year, this individual will be controlled. You guys want to talk about it? Surprised, not surprised. But that is the point. The point is that this is what human beings do. We've done it before. They chopped the king's head off. He was corrupt. He had he had this prostitute and that prostitute and this thing going on and that thing. And they hated his wife, who was a devout Catholic. And, there were all these problems going on with King Charles. And eventually the people couldn't take it anymore. And they rose up and they chopped his head off. And so this idea of the energy of that this individual is going into this kind of spiraling energy of the Eight of Swords. He is slowly, slowly, slowly being further and further controlled, and his opposition comes as the Ace of Swords is not auspicious for him at all. The hope and the fear at this time: poverty. If you're asking me about if you're asking me about Trump, if you're asking me about anybody who takes over too much power, this question was about but it also overlaps energetically, I think, with Trump's cards. But if you're asking me again, the question was specifically about it also reminds me of the communist revolution, in the sense that the communist, this is a replay of the communist revolution in China, in the sense that the people rise up against the emperor, and the consequences are liberation for China. And the fact that would have these types of cards and this type of imagery coming to him, and that they're giving us a message, the cards, that he will be taken over within 1 year. The people will rise up against and they will take him out within 1 year. And I'm going to go ahead and further predict, because the cards are mirror similarly what we see with Trump's reign, the same cards. We see both Trump and will probably fall in 2025. History repeats itself, doesn't it? Tyrants fall. They always fall because the people can't take it anymore. Final outcome for a new horizon. 3 of Wands stands in the final outcome. The ship is coming in. Very good news for China. It means that their trade is going to open up. And that's good, because if the trade opens up, it could be an indication of a new trade route. I'd like to see, because is contained, and within 1 year, we could see him overthrown. That's interesting, that 3 of Wands, which is quite auspicious. It means the trade. Remember, it was always about trade. 3 of Wands moving in as the final outcome. I got to know more. Regarding Xi being contained, yes, there's war. They're at war with Xi. The people of China have declared war on Xi 100%. War falls over Xi. The opposition has 1 year to take him out. Yes. Different groups and factions will come together and unite to take out Xi. It will be a united effort. Dang, I am loving these cards. I am loving these cards. I mean, this is so, oh my God, I'm so happy. The people. That is the message from Spirit. Where is your faith? Where is your faith in the people? The sin of the people. What is the sin of the people from Hashem, from the creator's perspective? Like, what is the creator saying? Or the great communicator in the sky with these cards is saying to us, O ye of little faith, O ye of little faith, you have so underestimated the power of your fellow human being. Your sin was that you lost faith in your fellow human being. That is the sin. You underestimated just how great human beings can be. You underestimated how we will come together and seek justice absolute. It is a fundamental part of our humanity to seek justice absolute. And that is why all tyrants fall eventually. And the final outcome, the hope and the fear of the people, poverty, by the way. Poverty was the fear of the people of China. It was typified by hopes for better days. And the final outcome for Xi and China, the people of China will take over. By the way, there's intellectuals, academics, and mastery coming in. So that also tells me that they're going to use possibly the law in order to remove Xi, their existing system. She's finished. I give them 1 year. And by the way, Trump's cards are almost identical, but Trump's cards are even worse because I don't think Trump has a year, to be honest with you. I think Xi's cards are better than Trump's, and according to these cards, he could be taken out. The people will probably take him out within a year.